Okay, one of the things that I've noticed in reading papers, either when I'm writing in the margins by hand or giving what these are called, which are in text or line editing comments, most students are really struggling with how to implement that feedback to make the paper better. So I want to show you an example using a student paper from not this class, but a similar class, how to use the feedback I'm giving you to make your paper improve. So what this little red dot means is there's a comment over here, here's my name, and sometimes I'll get very specific, such as here, your verb tense is wrong. Domestic violence is a very big problem, faces millions of women all over the world. It should be facing women all over the world. We try to avoid ing verbs in English because most often they give us problems. We move down to the end of the introduction, which is where the thesis goes. We as a community member need to do something for them. The least thing we can do is to educate them by simple things, which could be ads. Now, this is too general. There's no specific argument being posed here. My feedback says this is a start, but you need a thesis that argues how the ad is making its argument visually, not a thesis about the issue of domestic violence. And I wrote that probably 10 times on paper 1 for your class, and that is true for all classes. Remember what the prompt is asking you to do. Remember what we've practiced. We have particularly practiced the rhetorical appeals for this essay. So you're going to want to marry your ad with how it is communicating its message using ethos, pathos, and logos. Primarily using pathos, because pathos is the appeal to emotion. There's some other specific feedback. A lot of people are very vague about their ads. I found this ad against violence on a website. Be specific. Give your ad a title. The anti-domestic abuse ad was on blah de blah website. You always want to avoid using you. You're not writing me a letter. We want to use instead the third person. You can use words like we, a viewer, a reader of this ad, us, okay? Those are better options than second person. And then we have this interesting part where this writer starts to talk about the color black and how it is imposing itself on the woman in the ad from all directions, as if they want to say she can't get away from this devil. In the ad, there's also the gray color of the dress, which represents intelligence and dignity, reliability, as well as sadness. All of these meanings could be a description for this woman who can take all this pain and humiliation. There are two things going on here. Number one, there's some good color analysis, but the color analysis is supposed to lead you towards talking about a specific appeal. So I've put here all this blood red and black points us toward which appeal? Your answer is probably going to be the appeal to fear, because we fear for people in this kind of domestic abuse situation. The other issue with color is on the chart they've given you a variety of meanings, both positive and negative. All of them can't fit your ad. If your ad is negative, then the color black is going to be the negative colors. If your ad is negative, the color gray of the lady's dress is probably not representing anything intelligent, dignified, mature, or reliable. It's representing sadness, sterility, and an absence of color or a disappearance. When we look at the ad that this writer has given us to look at, you will see that she has a specific read on Mom was reading me a tale till Daddy came back, and it's Amnesty International. There's this big red, what looks like a cherry. It's also obviously could be an apple because this is Snow White. And we have a bullet to the heart, the death wound. Okay, Amnesty International is trying to avoid more of this kind of negative fairy tale. So what I've said here about the meaning of it could be a bullet or an apple. These are the kinds of ideas that you have to go further with. And of course, you want to support them in terms of the emotional appeals. Okay? The colors, the picture of the particular model, what other activities are going on in the ad. And in this particular ad, I would talk about lighting as well. All serve the purpose of supporting your thesis statement. If you don't have a clear thesis statement, it makes writing the rest of the essay more difficult. So use this feedback to help grow your essay. Don't just tack on things at the end of a rewrite. Okay? Don't just tack things on. You have to use the information to revise the essay from top to bottom. That doesn't mean start from scratch, but it certainly means more than just adding things in. And I hope that helps you as you begin your revisions.